Okay, so the survey is, consensus says, yeah, I've got to slit the back of the brace behind this portion of the fender. One gentleman basically told me that he had to slit his like every 2 inches down through there to get the profile right, and he made a template to do that, made a template of the door, and then pulled the door off and matched the fender to it. So that's what I'm going to do. So to make the template, I'm going to try to get a 3D scan of this door. Now, you're wondering why the Eddie Van Halen tape job. Well, the scanner doesn't like smooth, flat surfaces or smooth surfaces without a lot of features on it. So I'm going to try this versus sticking 1,000 of the reflective dots. These are the reflective dots right here. That's still on there from when I scanned the bottom. But if this doesn't work, I'll throw some reflective dots on it. But the idea being, I should be able to get an accurate 3D scan of the face of that door and use that in CAD to make a template. And I'll take you through that too if you're interested, but this is a little atypical for most people. So, but I'm going to try it. I have the 3D scanner. I did it, bought it for doing the underside of this thing. It worked fantastic for that. So I'm going to give it a shot and see how it does on the a little tiny portion of the outer body. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to take you along and try to show you how this works. I've got the screen up. So I am going to try to do this all at the same time. We'll see how it goes. So as you can see, the first thing you do is you get a preview the first time you click the play button, and you can see the green indication there is what it's scanning. Green kind of means it's happy. And I can move it down the door, back and forth. And as long as it has those Eddie Van Halen tape lines, it's pretty happy. If it gets off here into no man's land, it's eventually going to get lost. So let me start the actual scan, and you can see what I mean, and you'll see it start to build. And if you get too close, it'll warn you. If you get too far, it'll warn you. So here we go. I'm going to start up here at the top, get my spacing down so I've got a green light, and I'm scanning. I'm going to cross the top of the door, try to get some of that upper ledge in there nicely. There we go. I'm building it back and forth. You can see what it's looking like. I'm getting you actually see the tape lines in this mode. So I just kind of sweep back and forth, slowly filling in my scan while watching my green light, so it's happy. Whoops, not enough data points. See that? I got a little scared there for a minute. Said, oh, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. I'm just gonna round this out a little bit up here so you know where it is. And again, that should do it. That should give me enough of a scan so that I can process it, edit it, and do all of that stuff. But you can kind of see that's the view with the texture on. How do I turn that off? that's the view with the texture off. And what it means by texture is typically colors. So that seems to work pretty well. You can actually see, I don't know how well you can get this on the camera, but you can actually see the tape lines on that door. But this should get me close enough so that I can make a model of that profile, get that somewhat into a program where I can make a profile of that and get a drawing that I can cut the actual profile that I need. So I hope that's informative. It's pretty neat. Like I said, I bought this scanner to do to the bottom of the car, but then I was thinking about it last night and said, well, if I need a template, I've got a rig to make that. We'll see how accurate it is, because, you know, when I make this template, I should be able to cut it and put it right against that door, and it should fit. If it doesn't, you know, I'll have to, you know, massage it a little bit. But it should get me very, very close. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll show you what I got when I get there. Okay, so I took the point cloud and generated an STL file, stuck it into my CAD program, figured out a profile for the door. Then I took and just put that into my other CAD program and wrote a program for the CNC. So, stuck the old profile, I don't know how well you're gonna see that, but stuck the old profile here in Louis, and we're gonna give it a go. This will get me close. I don't know if this is gonna be perfect, but it should get me close enough that I can work a little bit of sandpaper and maybe a file or two and get this thing dialed right in to fit the door. Then I have something to work the fender off from. So let's give this a go. There's a lot of facets in the scan, so that's why it's jumping around a little bit. It's not going to be perfectly smooth, but it should be close. When it goes up and down like that, it's leaving these little keyways, these key locks in it, so that this piece doesn't come flying out when it's loose, and I can just go back in and trim those out after. But it's a quick little program. It only takes 2 passes. This is the second pass. And that should get me close to the profile. So next I'll liberate that plug out of the middle and then take this up and fit it to the door, see what it looks like. All right, back in the garage. All right, so I trimmed this up. Got my profile, so I think it's acceptable. Let's see how we did. Set you down over here for a second. This is the notch for the between the rocker and the door. That should help to locate me. I don't know how this is gonna go. So close. All right, I gotta do a little bit of trimming up here. It didn't quite get the swoop right at the top, but that's a lot closer than I expected. So I'll trim this up a little bit, bring you back. Well, check this out. I had to adjust this angle a little bit. The scan had it more of a loop. I just angled it up a little bit. That is better than anything I could have anticipated. That is very tight. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, but that's pretty awesome. So now I should be able to take this, start reworking my fender and making this match. One little flaw though, I do have to take this nub off because that doesn't exist on the fender, obviously. Should have thought of that. But it was great to locate this to start with. So then I can put this over here and start working that fender in, and you can see, hang on, let me do it right now. Close enough. Now you can see where my challenges lie, right? The bottom profile is actually pretty good. It's right in here where it all goes to hell. Hopefully you can see up high enough to see that. But so this portion up here is way off. If I slide that down, I'm pretty good right up to the body line. And then again, it's through this top portion of this arc is pretty rounded where it should be fairly flat. So I'm glad I did this because my initial reaction was to slit it right here in the middle. But after looking at this, it's all up here. All of it. So, yeah, I'm gonna get to work on that next, I guess. Try to figure out how to get this part flattened out. Yeah, that was telling. The template says the majority of the issue is here, and the fact that the whole thing is out further. But if this was drawn in correctly, so I think I need to work from here to here. This profile is actually quite good. Is that what my fender is telling me? So not bad, not too bad. Body line lines up. And then it kind of goes to crap up here. You can see right through here. It's hard to show, but right up the top, it's not fitting tight from here down to here. So, okay. Well, that tells us something. I may actually have to slit the outside of the fender to get this to come in too. This is more than I thought, I think. So I'm going to work this out. But like I said, the bottom is quite good. I'm less than a 16th out down there. Once I get this where it's supposed to be. And then it just kind of heads for the buckwheat towards the top. Okay, I think that I'm going to peel off the Eddie Van Halen tape job here before I have a seizure. And I will start working this. But that's probably it for this segment, as it was mostly just about, how you can make a potential way to make a template like this. There's other ways to do it, guys. I mean, you can do it with cardboard. You could, just get it tight. It's going to take some time. I happen to have some other tools available to me that probably most don't. and I am super impressed with how this came out. But I'm gonna start working it and see what I have to do.